Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, November the 2nd, and I hope everybody went out and voted today. I know I just got back, and it is 10:30. I was gonna go early this morning, but we waited on my daughter uh, to go when she was able to go, so we went about 10 o'clock. And so we got our vote in. I got my thing right here. I voted. And Bonnie, if you see this, I'm wearing the lovely, beautiful necklace you gave me for my birthday. This is just lovely. I told you it went good with my pink turtleneck. And I just love it. It's very beautiful. Anyway, what do you think about mandatory voting? It was in the news. It's been a couple of weeks ago, and they had a poll and asked, what did you think about it? Uh, they're trying to make it mandatory that everybody has to vote. And they wanted to know if you agreed or disagreed. Do you agree or do you disagree? I disagree. I don't think that's not freedom if you're made to vote. And besides, if you are made to vote, then the vote is going to end up not being fair because the people who don't want to vote is just going to go in there and vote for anybody. And the election just won't be fair. It won't be fair at all. So I say no, voting should not be mandatory. And but anyway, uh, I I used to not vote when my kids were young. I never went to the polls and voted, and a lot of people say that that's how they get that's how they select you in jury duty, but that's not true because when I was younger, actually before when did I start voting? I think it was 2004, I believe, is when I voted for the first time, I believe. Anyway, before that, I had been on jury duty 3 different times, been called to jury duty 3 different times. And in each of those times, when I'm in the room with potential jurors, it's rarely anybody's first time. I served jury duty in Virginia in 92, I believe. But out there it's different from out here because out there you have to serve, in Tazewell County, you had to serve a term, which was a 3-month term. And the way they would do that is I got a letter in the mail. It was really a big envelope that was delivered, and I had to sign for it. And it was from the circuit court. And I thought, what in the hell is this? So, but it was a lot of forms that you had to fill out, and it told you you had to turn it back in within 10 days, or you could be held in contempt of court. So I filled out all those papers, and I really didn't want to go for jury duty. My mom said, that's just a once in a lifetime thing. They probably ain't going to choose you anyway, but you just got to fill out the papers. And so, but sure enough, a couple months down the road, I get a phone call from the sheriff's department. And then I don't know why they called, but they said that I was chosen for jury duty. And they confirmed my address and everything. And then they sent me this thing. I had to go down there and blah, 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 and had to serve a 3-month term. But they give you a list. I served on the criminal jury. They had 2 juries, criminal jury and civil jury. And I was chosen for the criminal jury. And so I was given this paper about the dates and stuff that they were going to have their hearings and trials. And you had to be there every single time. So, and then a lot of them, though, they would call you the day before, too, if they were canceled. I think out of about 30 times that I was supposed to go on, went like maybe 10, somewhere like that. But we had to wait until the end of our term to get paid, which I think I got a check for like $200 some. But anyway, that was in 92. In 99, I was selected for jury duty, but I had to serve jury duty in High Point, North Carolina. And I'd never been to High Point. So that's when my husband was still alive. So we drove through High Point, but it still didn't do any good because he had to work on the day I was going to jury duty. And the directions that they gave me were backwards. They had been printed out backwards. And I followed the directions to a T. I made it into High Point okay, but had a hard time getting to the courthouse because the directions were backwards, and I ended up in a construction zone. So I called the number on there and I told her where I was, and she was like, "Honey, how'd you end up there?" I said, "I don't know." So she talked me all the way to the courthouse via cell phone in High Point. And I was down there all day long that day. And I was called as a potential juror and to a domestic violence case. And so sitting on that stand, uh, the lawyers, both attorneys, will drill you and ask you all kinds of questions. And they asked me where I lived, how many kids I have, what their names were, where they worked, where my husband worked, what did he do, ask you everything. But I was dismissed off of there because they asked me if I ever knew anybody that was a victim of domestic violence. And yes, my cousin Bobby murdered his wife, Debbie. And so I told about that. And they grilled me on questions about that. When did that happen? What was the outcome of the trial? Blah, blah, blah. Bobby got life plus 12 years. Blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the other. So I was let go from that case. And I was able to come on home. In 2005, I was again called for jury duty, but I was called for jury duty here in Greensboro. And I remember it was an ice storm. Well, not really an ice storm, but it was a misty, misty, cold rain that day. And I drove down to, it was in December, and I drove downtown. And I can't hardly find my way downtown. There's so many one-way streets and everything, and I just don't like going down there by myself. But when I got down there, I ended up going into the wrong parking building, which was a business parking building. A lot of cars behind me tooting their horn, but I didn't have the access for the thing to go up, and I had to put it in reverse, toot my horn, and back up, and practically went the wrong way down a one-way street. Anyway, I finally get to the parking building I'm supposed to be in, and I go across the street to the courthouse, and then, you know, you got to have your body scan and everything before they let you in. And I went up there to the jury room, and that misty rain was starting to turn into ice. But in the jury room, we had no heat. And what did they say? They said with a room with that many people in it, it's going to generate body heat, that we didn't need any heat. That's what we were told. And we had to sit there to damn near 5 o'clock that day in a room with our coat on with no heat. And with all these windows over here, looking at all that cold rain freezing on everything. And it was dark and dreary. That was just hell that day. That's the last time I've been called. And watch, I've talked it up, and I'll probably get a card in the mail. But anyway, Joe said he would love to serve jury duty. He said he would just absolutely love to serve jury duty. So I know when I went to the one in High Point in '99, this one woman came in and she had like 3 kids with her. And they said, "And you are?" And she told them her name. She said, "I had to bring my kids because I ain't got no babysitter." I think it's probably just her way of getting out of it because you get plenty of advance notice. So they told her, they said, "Well, we're going to go ahead and you can't find a babysitter?" She said, "No." They said, "Well, we're going to go ahead and let you go." And they gave her a date, like 6 months from that. They said, "It's going to give you 6 months, and you come back, they'll give you plenty of time to find a babysitter." So I know she was pissed off because then she had to wait 6 months and then go back again. She should have just gone and got it over with. But anyway, Bonnie, if Bonnie is watching this, I'm wearing the necklace that she gave me. Did I already say that? I believe I might have already said it, but I just love it so much, and I've been looking at it while I'm on my webcam. I really do. I love it. And last of all, and certainly not least, my Facebook friends already know, but for my YouTube friends, say a prayer for my Aunt Faye. She had an accident in her car yesterday in which she thought the car was in park, but it wasn't. And she tried to jump back in to keep the car from rolling, and it drug her. And she's in Roanoke Hospital now with bleeding on the brain and head trauma. And she can't move the left side of her body. So everybody say a prayer for her. She really needs everybody's prayers. She's had a pretty rough year this year, just in general. She's had heart problems and been in and out of the hospital. But otherwise in pretty good health and always has been. But anyway, please say a prayer for my Aunt Faye. And anyway, until next time, bye-bye.